How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Manatee Gaming. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys a little bit of tricks you can do with the new equipment levels, and also just a little bit more of an explanation on the equipment levels, because I think a lot of people are overlooking what you can do with the equipment levels and what they actually can mean to you. So here we go. Right here, you see that I have an augmented crystal pickaxe. Well, I'm going to go and use this as an example here. So when I go to check on my augmented crystal pickaxe, you see right here on the level, currently it's level 12. Now normally you would always siphon at level 12. That was something. Oh, hey, look, an origami. I'm gonna go ahead and loot that real quick. A mask for the video. A mask for the vid. Nope. Well, that's how much the origami's love me. I pretty much never get masks. Okay, so looking right here, you see level 12. Previously, level 10 is where you disassembled, and level 12 is where you siphoned. That was kind of the the rule of thumb for augmented items. But now with the new levels, it can kind of be a little bit different. So as we see, 13 through 20 are now available. And so at 13, you can see siphoning this item has a 50% chance to not consume the siphon. Basically, what you can do with that is just basically assume that for the rest of your invention, if you start siphoning at level 13, then it's going to cost you 50% less gold for all the EXP you'd normally get. I mean, because if you're going to save half of your siphons, then you can pretty much calculate it as you're spending half of the siphon's cost. And right now, if you look at my inventory, I do have a siphon here. The siphon's cost is 234,000. So previously, it would cost you 234,000 gold at level 12 to siphon your augmented crystal pickaxe or whatever other tool or weapon or whatever you had. But you can, if you start siphoning everything at level 13 instead, which doesn't take that much longer to get. As you can see, I very recently got this to level 12, so for me to go to level 13, it's going to cost me, or it's going to take me 33,557 EXP on my item in order to get to level 13. So it'll take a little bit of time, but I'm gonna get more into that in just a second here. But as you can see, by going to level 13, instead of spending 234,000 for every siphon, you're essentially going to spend 117,000 for every siphon. So that will save you a considerable amount of money in the long term. Kind of as the game goes, it's 400 siphons. Assuming you're doing all crystal tools, it's 400 siphons in order to get you to 200 million EXP. That's super rough because it's like 459,000 experience for each one of these, and that's you're gonna get EXP from doing other stuff like disassembling or unlocking blueprints and whatnot. So it's gonna be roughly 400 siphons to get to 200 million EXP. With that in mind, you can basically take 400 times. Let's do 400 times. How much did I say it was going to be? I said it was going to be 117,000. So if you start siphoning at level 13 instead, then by the time you get to 200 million, it will save you 46,800,000 gold. So by going to 13 and siphoning is actually, it's going to save you almost 47 million gold rather than going to level 12 and siphoning. Now, obviously, doing level 13 and siphoning is going to be a little bit slower EXP. I totally get that, but the thing is, guys, you have to remember that Invention is one of the fastest ways of training in the game. I'm sorry, one of the fastest levels in the game, like one of the fastest skills. So in order for you to go a little bit slower, I don't really personally think that really matters to me at all. To go slightly slower because it's already so fast it hardly matters. If you look at my skills right here, you can see that I have 120 Invention, and I have not by any means rushed Invention at all, and I actually don't really do combat Invention, so with me only doing skilling Invention, I've already hit 120. So as you can see, in my opinion, Invention is too fast. I think that I really think it should have been slower, but this right here kind of gives you a benefit of going slower. So if you were to do it at level 13, you can get 50% saved. You could even take your items to level 16, and as you can see, level 16 right there, siphoning this item will no longer consume the siphon, so you can do it 100% for free. The only thing is, though, is I don't really personally recommend you going to level 16. You can do that if you want to, but you have to understand level 16 has considerably higher EXP than doing level 12 or 13, so you will be going considerably slower at level 16. I would say, in my opinion, though, that by the time you hit 200 million in all your stuff where you could siphon, that you will still hit 200 million way before all the other stuff is done, even by going to level 16 on everything. So you could totally do that if you want to. I'm not really going to do that. Personally, I'm going to go to 13 just to save that 47 million gold. But there are other options in here too. When we look at level 14, it says this item drains 12.5% less charge when used. Something you got to remember about crystal tools, for example, as I'm showing you right here. This drain rate is 0.22 per second. That is roughly 15,000 gold that I'm spending every hour. So 12.5% is really only going to save me, somewhere between 1,500 and 2,000 gold per hour. It's not really anything that I would even blink an eye at. So as far as like taking that into consideration for if I'm like trying to consider what level I want to siphon this at, I'm probably not going to consider that. But if you have stuff that you don't want to ever siphon again, like because at level 20 your helpful perks have a chance to get 10%. Like you have your helpful perks will activate 10% more frequently, is what I'm trying to say. If you do that on a lot of your like combat gear, which I know for me, for example, I'm probably never going to siphon my combat gear again. I already basically never did it, and now I'm really never going to do it because at level 18 you get 15% less charge when used, which saves you a ton of money on combat gear. And then at level 20, my helpful perks are going to activate 10% more frequently, which means more DPS, more damage, more activated abilities, and everything like that. So I am totally just going to like put my combat gear to level 20. But if I was just trying to siphon stuff at level 16, I probably wouldn't care about the 12.5% less charge when used. Also, if you're looking at combat gear, Tier 90s, for example, cost you right around 300 to 330,000 per hour to be able to use Tier 90 weapons. That's using like a two-handed or a dual wielding. So if you're saving 15% less from the level 18 augmented item level, 15% less on 330,000 is actually quite a bit. So you're saving, you're saving like 45 to 50,000 gold every hour by having it level 18. And then also being at level 20, you're going to have more helpful perks, which makes it much more useful to use. So overall, I would say that these new item levels are really, really awesome for combat gear because they will save you a lot of money, especially if you have a full augmented suit. You're going to save a ton of money. But as far as it goes with like your just regular siphoning, guys, I would personally recommend you just wait till level 13 now. I've already done it once and I actually saved my saved my siphon. The thing is, like, there's really no reason to rush Invention. I constantly tell people this, that they don't need to rush Invention because it's totally pointless to do so with how much EXP you get from things. From the new blueprints alone, guys, I had level 117 Invention and I got to about 400,000 away from 120. So from 117 to pretty much 120 from just doing the new blueprints. So I mean, like, this skill's dumb fast. You don't need to rush it. So if you're one of those people that does not have billions of gold and you want to save some money in the long term, then I would definitely recommend siphoning your stuff at level 13. And as far as disassembling things, I wouldn't even recommend disassembling things pretty much ever unless you're just going to get like some good components from it. So I know some people will level up gear and then disassemble it at 9 or whatever to get the extra components and stuff from the gear. But unless you're trying to go after parts and components, I would recommend not disassembling your gear. You're just really wasting money. I know that the people that can ignore what I'm saying though are the people that are like in a specific situation where maybe they have 200 million of everything else and they're just trying to rush Invention as fast as possible. Then yes, sure, don't really pay attention to what I'm saying because that doesn't really apply to you. But if you're a normal player who is not rushing Invention, or you have plenty of other stuff to do like I do, then there's really no reason to rush Invention, guys. So I'd highly recommend that you start doing 113. As you can see, just going from level 13, not 113. Just from going from level 12 to 13 instead, you're going to save yourself 47 million gold over time. So anyway, guys, as always, trying to throw out some stuff to help you guys build wealth. Thank you to all the supporters of the channel. I just want to do another shout out because I have had a bunch of new people sign up for the Patreon and everything. Big thank you to you guys. I'm working on some money making methods for the Patreon currently. And I'm also working on some money-making methods for the YouTube, so you guys will see that in the future, and also more ways to save you guys some money and help to build up your long-term wealth. Anyway, thank you so much for being a supporter of the channels. I will see you guys in the next video. Please hit subscribe and like on the video if you want to, and hit a comment if you have some stuff that you would like to suggest that you would want to see me either make a video about or just answer questions for. And I will see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.